I'm back. Uh, on yesterday's video, I had spoke on I was having some trouble with the Vsport, and um, I'm going to try to figure out what's wrong with it. Uh, Hopefully, I can get to the bottom of it, so I don't have to go to the dealership. Because uh, I do not want to take the intake and stuff off of it to bring it there, just in case it voids the warranty. Um, but the issues I am having, um, the blow off valves, I believe I need to adjust them. Um, I'm not sure if I have them set too hard, but I do want to try setting them to the factory setting, just to see if that's going to help with the high rev. Um, Whenever I rev it up, once it comes down to idle, it wants to stall. Um, and that could also have something to do with the other issue I'm having. So, the other issue is I had an engine light the other day, and I was on my way to work. And so I accelerated the car, got it up to a pretty decent speed, and the engine light came on. And what was happening was, like, once it was like at high boost, uh, it shifted weird, um, and it wanted to stall. And so the engine light flashed for a little bit, and then it went off. So I have the blue driver, and so I read the codes immediately, and there was a code for something dealing with the mouth sensor. So it's like, okay, um, maybe one of the mouth sensors are bad. So, of course, I went on Google just to see if um, anybody had any issues or any symptoms related to this because of a mouth sensor. And what I came to find out is that if there's a vacuum leak, um, it could cause bad mouth readings, which just throws a code for the mouth sensor. Um, so I began looking around, and the issue I found was this. All right, so I was looking around, and just to see if, like, the mouth sensors were unhooked or anything like going on with the wiring, anything. Everything was in place. So um, I've been having issues with this intake hose right here. And so I checked it. I pushed it down just to see if, like, anything was loose down there. And what I found was this. So this clamp is loose. Uh, so I had issues putting this hose on. This hose is really hard to put on, which is also making me question whether I want to replace this eventually, which I think I do. I may do a video on the Rennet Performance intake once it comes out. And so um, we're going to try tightening this. I'm going to have to put you guys down to be able to do this. This is also the reason why I needed that tool from Harbor Freight that they didn't have the battery for. So I'm going to have to just struggle and try to put this on better for now. So I'm going to bring you guys back once I get it tightened, and hopefully we'll be adjusting the blow off valves. All right, I'm back, and I got the intake hose back on. It was basically like all the way off. So I don't even know how this car was even running at all, to be honest. But it was like basically off. So I pushed it down some more. Struggled really hard. It took about 20 minutes getting it back on, but I got it a lot more tightened. It's not loose anymore. So you see it's not moving, and it's pretty sturdy. So we are actually, I thought about it once I got finished with that, and just in case, I want to try cleaning the mouth sensors. So let's do that. There is two, one here, and there's one right here. So this one's going to be pretty hard to do while recording. So I'll do the first one on camera and show you how to clean it. And then I'll do the second one off camera, and then I'll bring you back to do the blow off valves. So I have a ratchet right here, and we are going to use a T15 to unscrew the map sensor from the intake housing. So there is a red tab on this one, and you just pull it up, and then you squeeze and pull up, and that's the connector. It's off. So we'll set that to the side, and now we will unscrew the MAF. And I need to make sure I do not lose these screws. Hopefully I do not drop them. All right, there's one, and move on to the second one. Second one, and it should just pop right out, just like that. And we are going to be using, where is it at? There we go. We're going to be using this CRC mass airflow sensor cleaner. And all you do is spray it on the little resistor there, on those resistors. And we're going to make sure it's dry before we put it back in. And then I'll do the second one off camera. So make sure that it is airflow sensor cleaner and nothing else, because I'm pretty sure anything else will damage these. All right, so I'm gonna figure out how I'm going to spray this while holding this camera. All right, so I just went on and cleaned it. There was no way I can do it while holding the camera, so I just sprayed here, sprayed it very well. Right here as well, in there, and also there. So right now I'm gonna let it dry, and I'm gonna do the second one off camera. All right, I'm back, and so I got both of the math sensors cleaned and back end. I didn't put the connectors back on yet, um, but I'm going to right now. And there are two different map sensor connectors. This one has the red tab for the driver side intake, and the passenger side has a gray tab here. So um, we're going to put those back on, and this one is down here, and close the gray tab. All right. And this one, and push down the red tab. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and adjust the blow off valves back to the factory setting. And to get started, we need to take off this engine cover. And to remove it, we're gonna have to remove the oil cap and a screw. We're going to need a T30 to remove the screw. Yeah, this is a long screw. All right, this is the screw, and now we're going to remove the engine oil cap. And to take the engine cover off, I'm going to lift up and pull out. All right, and now we're going to close the engine oil fill. All right, there are two blow off valves, one here, right here, and one there. And so to adjust it, we're going to turn this cap counterclockwise, I believe. I believe so. So we're gonna go ahead and pull off this vacuum line right here. And it's a little tight. All right, I will bring you guys back once I get both of those off. Vacuum lines. All right, I'm back. I have both vacuum hoses off. This one and that one. All right, so we're not going to turn it counterclockwise. We're going to turn it clockwise. So there is two O-rings on the blow-off valve, and so the first one that you see is just a reference, and that's going to let you know that you're at the softest setting. And from that point, you turn it counterclockwise, one full rotation, and then that's going to be your factory setting. Um, and that is for the driver's side. And for the passenger, I need to turn it clockwise or counterclockwise for for the softest setting. Um, and for the two settings, softer is going to give you the classic blow off valve sound. Um, and at its hardest setting, it's going to do a flutter sound. Um, I've only recently heard that sound, uh, and I don't really like the flutter sound, but maybe one day I'll adjust it to the hardest setting just to see what it sounds like. But for now, we're going to put it at its factory setting. All right, so I'm going to turn it, this part, not this right here. This is rotational just to be able to put on that vacuum hose. So we're not going to be turning this. We need to turn this part here. So we're going to turn it clockwise until we see the first O-ring. And there's the first O-ring right there, which is this little, it's a black O-ring. And so from this point, we are going to close it or turn it to its hardest setting, which is counterclockwise. Or not to its hardest setting, we're going to turn counterclockwise until we cover this first O-ring. All right, so the O-ring is covered, I think. Let's turn it another. Okay, so the O-ring is covered, and I'm going to mark it because I can't really see when I make one full rotation. So hopefully I'll be able to see this, and we're going to make it right here. I don't know if you can really see this, but I can see it. So now we're going to continue to turn it in the counterclockwise position. And hopefully I don't mark off the mark. All right. And I believe that's the mark right there. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, that is the mark right there. So this right here is going to be your factory setting. And so we're going to move on to the passenger side one. And this one we can see a lot easier. All right. I'm going to take off some of these vacuum hoses here, just so we can get a little bit better access. Okay, I'm back. I just used a bungee to hold those up out the way and attach it to the hood latch. We're going to turn the blow-off valve counterclockwise until we see the first O-ring. All right, there's your first O-ring. And now we're going to close it until it's completely covered. All right, so it is completely covered, and now we're going to do one full rotation. And I'm going to mark it again in the center. Okay. All right, now we are going to turn it clockwise now until we see this mark again. All right, there is the mark again. And now I'm going to connect all of the connectors back, and I'll bring you back for the startup. All right, I got everything back together and we're about to do the startup. Yep, I need gas again. We'll wait for the idle to come down and then we'll rev it a little bit to see if the idle is normal. Okay, it still did it. Well, I said it's factory setting, so I guess I can't complain too much. But I still hear the blow off sound, so I guess everything's good. All right, I'm gonna go get gas and I'll see you guys later.